Hey, everybody. Thanks for downloading this episode of the Black and Gold podcast brought to you each and every week by Boone Shine Brewing Company. They're doing everything they can to make the high country a better place and to help Boone shine. And it's Brewer's Choice this week. The Brewer's Choice this week, I should say, is the Boone Shine IPA. What does Brewer's Choice mean? $4 pints all week long, crisp, hoppy, and brewed right here. The steel won't last long. Come see us and grab a pint while it's here. Cheers. Moonshine IPA. Very classic. Can't get better than that, I don't think. And then of course this Thursday, Smash Burger and a beer for $12. Charles, give us a take of the Moonshine IPA.
It's just classic, It's not it's not over the top or anything like that. It's just a classic little beer. It's not nuclear seahorse or space pegasus or tropic. It's kind of its own standalone little deal. It
Yep.
does trick.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so thanks to Moonshine for sponsoring the show. I'm your host, Alex Johnson, and with me as always, the world's most famous App State fan. He is Big C. And man, we got a bunch of tabs open right now. That means we got a bunch of sports. We got a bunch of sports to talk about, and we are excited to do that. So I guess we can jump right in here. I want to shout out our Olympic sports sponsors. Styles Roofing, 704-842-1874 is the number to call or text. App State Sports Fanatic and Crazy Person, not really, but Billy Styles. If you're in the greater Charlotte area and got some roof damage and had all that ice and snow on your roof, and then you saw those leaks coming in, you're like, oh, wow. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, the last time it rained really hard, our roof was leaking. Then you got to give them a call, and they can help you out. They work with a lot of They have worked with a lot of Black and Gold podcast listeners. And if you want to get better insurance and better service and save some money, for those of you in North and South Carolina, call Community One Insurance. Go check out their website, communityoneInsurance.com. They are Appalachian State Walker College of Business graduates, Matthew Johnson and Zach Ligon, and they can help you get great coverage with a great rate at a great price from multiple different carriers for you to help you save some money and, of course, provide great service along the way. 828-455-2335 is the number to call or text. So, Charles, let's jump in here. I think softball actually deserves I think they deserve first up here because, man, they are 8-1. This is a tremendous start for them. They go into the Spyro Classic. I guess that's in Greensboro, and they go 4-1, and they actually lose on Valentine's Day at 3:00 in the afternoon in super extra innings. They actually start the weekend on Thursday, long weekend on Thursday against UNC Greensboro. They go 9 innings, then they win, then they win, then they win, and then they end the weekend against UNC Greensboro in 9 innings. So it's kind of fitting, little bookend there. But softball's 8-1, Charles. I mean, they're on a tear right now.
It's kind of a wild weekend because they only played one game that was 7 innings of 5. That's something to be said. So, yeah, UNCG 7-6-9 on Thursday. Friday, 12-0 run rule against Columbia. Friday later that afternoon, a 9-1 run rule over Fairfield, a 4-2 win over Columbia on Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon they fall in extras, 9 innings to UNCG. Last year, AJ, this team started 1-8. Now it's the other end. Now they're 8-1, and last year they finished 23-27. So we talked a lot about playing better down the stretch. Start 1-8 at 23-27 looks a lot better. So let's take it all the way back to, if you do the math here, they finished last year, if I'm 22 and on a 22-18 stretch. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
so it's above 500 ball, and then you add another 8-1 on that, so they're 30 and what? What did I just say? 30-19 in their last almost 49 games. Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't write that down beforehand. I did all that in my head.
If someone's writing that down right now, it probably looks uglier than we meant it to. But
like,
yeah.
What did you say? So yeah, great start. Let's hope to keep it going as they head to Chapel Hill this weekend to see North Carolina once, Princeton twice, and then North Carolina Central and Rider. 5 more games this weekend in Chapel Hill.
Yeah, Coach Jones is doing a great job. There's no other way to say that. It would be really easy for last year for them to throw a pity party or whatever, but they turned it around. We absolutely talked about that, but what a hot start. You really want to get warmed up, of course, because the Sun Belt, man, it's just such a brutally competitive conference. So, we're going to get our licks in here against North Carolina and then Tennessee the following weekend in Knoxville. So we're playing Tennessee and Penn State the weekend after this. So there's a lot of softball to be played before Sun Belt play starts March 13th against Coastal. But Coach Jones doing a really great job. Really excited to see that program doing that. And let's stay on the diamond. Let's stay on the diamond and talk about baseball here. Really excited for baseball to be back. And it wouldn't be Appalachian State baseball unless we had a doubleheader in our first series. But it was great to see. One of the things, Charles, we talked about with Kermit last week was the need for aggressive pitching and confident pitching and to throw strikes. And I for one was really encouraged. Saw the first game on Saturday. Canisius, is it playing Louisiana or Coastal, in April? No, but still you can tell, I think, a lot about demeanor and how we're attacking the strike zone. I mean, the strike zone's there regardless of who you're facing, right? But I was encouraged. I was encouraged by the arms. I think that's going to be. We're not going to be good if we don't pitch well. Period. Like I just, and so I was encouraged by that. I know. We swept Canisius this past weekend with that doubleheader on Saturday on Valentine's Day. So fitting. And we played Duke this afternoon and lost. But Charles, the arms are important, and it looks like we're off to a good start. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. Got a run rule in the first game on Saturday. That's always fun playing a doubleheader, so that probably played into that. You never know what these rules are on doubleheaders with teams, especially the first week. Everybody's kind of like taking it easy and you're not having guys go out there and throw 100 pitches, in their first appearance. So you're gonna have some shortened games and things like that nature while people get warmed up to the season and get tuned in. But tonight they played against Duke, and it's just one of those situations where not the timeliest of hits or situations to occur at the right time. We started quick and got 3 runs and got their pitcher out in the first inning. We had some hit by pitches and some walks. Got hit. Nico Soul had his first career home run. It left 13 on, and that's that's a problem when you only have 5 hits and you get those extra. You get those runners on due to the walks. I think Duke had 9 walks. They walked us 9 times. Or they walked us, 7 times. Looked on the wrong side. New kind of PDF here. I'm getting used to it. Compared to past years. But opportunities were there. And those hits will come through. Justice Zamora's not going to go over 3 every week, every night. So good start. Duke, we'll find out who Duke is. Duke lost. Chris Pollard went to Virginia. He took a load of talent with him. Their cupboard is certainly not empty, but it didn't look like the same Duke team that I had seen in the past. For the innings I was able to watch. But I'm encouraged so far. A lot of people got on the mound and threw a little bit. So, not overexerting anyone. Same thing with Duke. They threw a lot of guys. So these early season midweek games and series kind of sets the tone. See where we are. There's a lot of teams across college baseball right now that did not have great weekends or opening series. Troy lost to Mercer. ECU is someone we don't play this year, but it's a little bit of a barometer. They had a rough weekend. They lost to Campbell today, so that's going on everywhere. Coastal Carolina, I think, lost to Charleston, College of Charleston this afternoon. So no panic at this point. I think someone called a game like Southern Miss lost again. They're like, that's an upset. It's like it's early season college baseball. There's
it's February, man. It's February.
You're half the teams at the top 25 or top 30, whatever poll you're going to look at, are not going to be there in a month, and they could be right back in there a month later. It's just such the ebb and flows. So we'll see where we are. Good start. You like to get a sweep. I'm sure Kermit's happy about that, and then we'll move on to the planned weekend of playing 3 different teams in 3 different places. Queens Friday, North Carolina A&T back at the Franz in Hickory, and then the scheduled Southern Illinois game at the Beeve. And at some point, one of these games is going to be impacted by weather because it's February and it's still cold. And the spring is coming, but it's not here yet, and we all know that. So be on the lookout for those pitch times, and they may be adjusted. Highly doubt all 3 of those games go off at the scheduled places and or times.
Yeah, it's a very unique weekend for sure. I mean, this is
it's something else. Like props to anyone who's able to go to all 3. Who isn't like
somebody tell me, somebody tell if you're not part of the staff, if you're not part of like athletics, and you're a fan and you go to all 3, holler at me. We'll send you a Blue Deer card because that deserves.
That's it. Yeah,
that deserves I mean, that's just cool. It's almost like Kermit shook the 8 ball, the magic 8 ball to schedule this weekend.
Rolling the die. Where are we playing? Who we playing? Who wants to show up?
Yeah, that's right. So so baseball season, I'm encouraged by a couple of things I did want to mention. I really did enjoy seeing Gage Peterson's numbers, striking out 8 in 4 innings, only walking 1, needed 70 pitches to do it. But I mean, I think that's encouraging. I believe he is from, I should have clicked on this before. He is from Walter State Community College. So I think that's a community college in Tennessee that actually produces a lot of D1 talent, because now there's such a bottleneck now with players staying longer. Rosters and are filling up in JUCOs because they're trying to hold out and get better, get stronger to try to compete, because these guys are staying for forever. So really excited to see that. Big tall guy Gage Peterson is. So hopefully he can continue that. And another player that Kermit said has really transformed himself, looks like a new player, a new pitcher, is Max Tramontana. Almost, I always want to say tarantula when I see
Tramontana.
Yeah. But he's got 3 innings and 5 strikeouts, and I don't think he's given up a hit yet. So whether he ends up starting some games or is coming out of the bullpen, man, we need effectiveness. We need effective pitching to get us out of the inning, to stretch those games, or to make the game shorter, I should say. And so that was encouraging. You're just trying to find silver linings here in February baseball.
I just want to pass along another score because I pulled it up by the time you were talking about what you were talking about. Georgia Tech leads Georgia Southern 25-0 in the top of the 9th. That's a baseball score. Georgia Southern played Ole Miss this last weekend, I believe, and they got swept. Yeah. And no, they played West Virginia. Excuse me.
Oh.
Played West Virginia. West Virginia, the team that doesn't know what a stop sign is. They just steal every base.
Yeah.
And beat them pretty handily. And stiff competition, I know that, mismatches, but 25 runs is a lot.
That doesn't matter what sport it is.
No innings with like 10 or 12. I saw a 17 or something. It's like South Dakota State, somebody else was playing. And I think South Dakota State was 0-3, and they scored 17 runs in 1 inning when they were still only up like 19-11.
Wow.
Quite hilarious. So February baseball, you got to love it.
I hate it for them. I really do. I feel really bad. Really, really, really bad for the for the Eagles. I'm gonna say a prayer for them tonight. But yeah, baseball's on their way. And for real, if you're listening to this and you go to all 3 games this weekend, assuming they happen, holler at me. Let's go to wrestling now. We faced Davidson on Friday evening and Chattanooga Sunday at 2. We do drop a duel to Chattanooga. We beat Davidson 38-3. Was not even close, but we lose a squeaker 13-20 to Chattanooga, which puts us at 6-1 in conference. Our next matchup is Gardner Webb. This is senior day. This is the last duel before the SoCon Championship, which will be in Asheville. So last chance to see the Mountaineer Wrestling Apps against Gardner Webb on Sunday. You hate to drop that one, Charles, but it does seem like even in our SoCon champion, seasons that, we'll drop one. It's usually to Campbell, I guess. But I'm not sure if Campbell, what their record is or what Chattanooga's record is wrestling wise. I don't know if we still are at the top. But
yeah, so the standings are you got 3 teams at 6-1: Citadel, Chattanooga, and us. So I'm not sure who each of those teams wrestle this weekend. But we have Gardner Webb, and we obviously got to win to clinch a share of the title with whoever else chooses to win their match. Trying to stress this out, so I look up Chattanooga's who they're wrestling this weekend. It would be hilarious if they were wrestling the Citadel, but I doubt that's the case. No, they actually lost already to the Citadel 18-19, and that was back in January. So Chattanooga, Chattanooga has Bellarmine Sunday, and so everyone's playing someone else, and 3 teams will look to vie for a title. Add another notch in the belt for John Mark Bentley if we can pull that off against Gardner Webb.
Pulling for him, pulling for Coach Bentley's crew. They do such a good job. So hoping to carry some momentum into the conference tournament. Let's go to tennis here. So since we last talked tennis, we beat Western Carolina during that blizzard last weekend. I'm sorry, the weekend before. Now, this past weekend, Valentine's Day weekend, we faced Kennesaw State at Kennesaw State and Mercer at Mercer. So we spent some time in Georgia, which, is always a thing. We do take down Kennesaw State 5-2. We drop our matchup against Mercer 3-4. So we still have not gotten into Sunbelt play yet. Overall, we are 3-3 with Austin P next at home. It says the tennis courts at the 105 complex on Saturday, but we'll see what happens there, Charles.
Yeah. Another one that looks like it could be moved somewhere else or to a different time or a different date. Certainly, we'll find out later. But yeah, a tough one against Mercer. They won the doubles point to essentially take the match. Two matches that went 6-2 and 6-0. Savannah won both of her matches in doubles play. 6-4 in the doubles match, and then won 6-4, 6-love, and at number 1 singles.
Yep. All right. What else do we have here? So we got tennis. Let's talk lady hoops here. We actually split a home series. I watched a little bit of that James Madison game there in the second half. We were actually leading. And I thought we were leading with like 5 minutes left or so. It was getting close down there to the end of the fourth quarter, and I thought we had a good chance, but just went through a bit of a drought, and James Madison pulled ahead, and we couldn't catch up. We lose 53-60. Charles, I don't know if you were at that game or not.
I was. That was my daughter's birthday.
Oh yeah.
She was more excited about getting on the dance cam and winning some mellow mushroom pizza. So that's.
We both have daughters that did this, by the way. We both have mellow mushroom winning daughters right there on the dance cam. Cute girls winning pizza. It's a home center tradition for sure.
Yeah, you gotta love it. This game started slow against James Madison. It was 8-6 after the first period. And then we had to lead. Then we had to lead at half. We had lead was cut into at the end of the third quarter, but then we just got to the fourth quarter, and then suddenly James Madison can shoot, and they were getting turnovers, and they were getting layups, and it just was like you saw it coming, and it was just so tough because we were right there. A good James Madison team too, that we had every right to beat, but just getting over the hump is the hardest part. You can't do what we did in that fourth quarter. Only scored 12 at home while trying to protect the lead. It just we got tight and we lost. That stung watching that one. That really, because it was, you felt like that was going to be a growth moment for that team. But at the same time, excited that they were able to take care of Georgia State on Saturday in overtime, score some points. Like going on, they had a huge lead in that game too, and kind of gave it all back. Like we were, Georgia State outscored us 28-14 in the fourth quarter. Like, and that's just tough. And we had another low scoring quarter. We scored 7 in the second. But we counteracted that with some defense coming out of halftime. But they figured it out. We needed a 3 at the end of regulation from Elena Pericek to tie the game. So, I mean, Georgia State was going to win this game. So they went and got it. They went and earned it. That was the pink game. So it was really cool. They had the Valerie Whiteside jerseys and the pink jerseys. And so I was, it's good for them. Proud of them to be able to pull that off and get a win, a much-needed win.
Yeah, for sure. We're on the road, Coastal and James Madison on the schedule. So hopefully we can do some damage on the road and finish strong for our final homestand Wednesday and Friday, February 25th and 27th. And that's it. That's the regular season for the Sun Belt Conference tournament. Starts March 3rd on a Tuesday. Wonder what we'll be doing on that Tuesday night, Charles. March 3rd. But we'll see what we can do here. We don't have a Satchel segment and we don't have a special guest this week. Hopefully we'll have one next week. But want to thank Blue Deer Cookies for sponsoring the show. Downtown Boone, Downtown Blowing Rock, and West Jefferson. Not at Daytona Beach, though. Not at the racetrack. I don't think there's any Blue Deer down there. There's some representatives of Blue Deer down at the racetrack, I think, this past Sunday, but I don't think there are any cookies. Best coffee in Boone, best coffee bar, and they have some delicious sweet treats for you to help warm you up here as we get into, well, I guess, inching closer to spring. We thank them for sponsoring the show. And Mountaineer Mania, downtown Boone, 497 West King Street. All of your apparel and gear needs are at Mountaineer Mania. They have some really cool letter jackets. They have their jerseys. I think their jerseys, football jerseys, are still on sale. Great T-shirts, outerwear, tailgate gear, coolers, whatever you want, and some hats. Go check out Mountaineer Mania. And remember, when you buy products from Mountaineer Mania, part of that purchase is going back to support Mountaineer Athletics. So you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone there. And we thank them for helping sponsor the show. So let's get to our first place men's basketball team. And I got to say this too. I was planning on doing this. We had our 2023-24 season, which was awesome. I mean, we're still like riding off the high from that. I mean, it was such a great year. The home center was bouncing and just packed, and it was such a great season relative to like what we're used to seeing, I guess, traditionally at the home center for basketball. And then last year was fine too, had some good crowds, but the crowds haven't been good this year. And I know that the weather's been poor, and you can't really lay, too much on that, because like, for example, last week we went to the game last weekend. It was tough because it was the wind was whipping 50-mile-an-hour gusts. I mean, it was cold as crap. So I get it. So I'm not trying to say we should have 8,000 people in the home center for a game like that. But this is a first place team. This staff keeps plugging and pulling in from the portal these players to fit the roles to put a competitive team out there. We need people in the home center. We need students in the home center. So if you're listening to this and you're on the fence on whether or not you want to go, just go to these games. Go to the basketball games. Be super loud. I'm well past, and Charles is too. We can't be obnoxious and crazy like students anymore. But the younger you are, get to the stadium, make a lot of noise. they deserve it. I mean, this team deserves it. They're in first place. We're sitting here at the end of February. They're in first place. So, sorry, Charles, I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I've just felt I haven't really banged that drum a whole lot. I didn't feel like I've needed to, but I just feel very strongly that people need to go to the home center and support this team. So,
well, it's been pretty clear and pretty sad, honestly, and it's not just you. It's been noticeable, unfortunately, that we've had better student crowds on Thursday nights than we have had on Saturday afternoons.
Yeah.
And I know that Saturday at 1:00 is prime, skiing weather. Certainly we've had the weather for it, or sleep in if that's your choice. But it's been a little lax, and I don't care to call it out because, that's tough. That's what these guys feed off of. They, it's for once, it's not, and I've seen over the years, it's always to get more alumni at the Mountain. That's hard to do on a Thursday, right? When you play at 6:30. But if it's important to you, I think you got to get out there and come to a basketball game where all you got to do is just show up.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the deal is, but these two games this week are as big as it gets, and Thursday might be bigger than Saturday, but it's only bigger because it's first. But if you win Thursday, then Saturday becomes bigger because you've put yourself in position.
Yeah.
So it would take a lot of time right now to really set the table with who's playing who and whose records are what. But we're in first place, and there's 3 teams behind us in second place, if I'm remembering correctly without looking. And they all somehow we all kind of play each other down the stretch, right? So what you had last night on Monday, a makeup game was Marshall hosting South Alabama and winning, which was good because South Alabama last night only had 4 losses. So they got that 5th loss, and then they fall behind us. So in the last week, we went from taking first place and then giving it away and then getting it back.
Yeah.
Since we last talked,
Which
is kind of hilarious. But tomorrow night, Wednesday, not a lot of implications here, but Troy does play on the road at Monroe. Monroe can be a tough place to play. Yeah, they're terrible. Coastal Carolina is still kind of in the mix because if you look at the standings, most everybody has 3 or 4 games left to play, and there's a lot of teams that are only 3 or 4 games back.
Yeah.
So just about every night that the Sun Belt suits it up between now and the end of February, there's going to be massive implications.
Yeah.
So for instance, on Thursday, along with Marshall and App playing, like Texas State's playing South Alabama in Mobile, that will have massive implications. And then once we go to Saturday, you have Troy and South Alabama. That will be massive. Georgia Southern App will be massive. Marshall at Coastal, massive. Marshall, really good team, shoots well at home, plays fast pace. They like to get up and down the court, but they don't shoot as well on the road. So, and they're talented, but I think we have what it takes to neutralize them a little bit. We weren't playing our best when we went up there last time, right?
No.
Like it was early January, if I'm not mistaken. If that's right, AJ.
Yeah.
So, that was before we went on our 7-game win streak, and that was tough because that was games where we were, coming off losing to, Georgia State a couple weeks before Christmas and played methodically on a Saturday. And we went down to Coastal and played methodically on a Saturday and lost to Kansas. And those teams turned out being better than they were. Still not great, but games, had we had one of those, you'd be in much better shape. Even take it to the, Old Dominion Saturday. But this Thursday is as big as it gets because we have to have that split with Marshall to avoid a weird tiebreaker, because if we get stuck losing on Thursday and they have the 2-0 edge on us, that could knock, with all the tiebreakers that are involved, that could knock us out from, depending on how these other games go, from being in the 4 seed or the 5 seed.
Yeah.
Whereas if we win these games, then we can just we'll be in the top 4 easily, and maybe even a top 2. And there's still, like I said, conference championships on the line.
Yeah.
Like several teams could still win it. So that's why this week is massive. Like both games, very, very big. You gotta get out to both of them. If you can get out the mountain, if you can get out of bed, whatever it is, for anyone who may be interested.
I just don't get it, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're sitting here in North Carolina. I mean, this is the sport of North Carolina is basketball. You could say NASCAR, but if we're talking about courts and team sports and everything else, it is basketball, and not just basketball. It's college basketball, and man, it drives me nuts. I mean, we're sitting here. This is everything we were hoping for 10 years ago, like to have a first place team in late February, and you know what I'm saying, and being at the top of the heap and competing, and now it's never been harder to field year in and year out a competitive team, and we're doing it again. Like Miles Tate and CJ Huntley might have been the 2 best players on this team this year, but we've replaced them and then some, and this team's playing so well together. And first play, and it's just, I don't know, man. It just was very frustrating. And the basketball program, like their staff does such a great job with their graphics and their promotions and their content. They all do it themselves. And, Appalachian State will always be a football school. It's just, I mean, I don't think there is such thing as a school that is a football and basketball school. I think you're one or the other. Even if you're like Florida and you win, like Florida has won more basketball national championships in the 21st century than football, but they're still a football school, right? And that's just that's who they are. Appalachian State's always going to be a football school, and there's no question about that. But what the men's basketball team has been doing in this portal era, developing players, keeping them, trading them out, whatever, and having a first place team, man, it's just so hard. I mean, look at this. I mean, we have like Arkansas State is in the middle of the road in conference, and they're only 2.5 games back. I mean, they technically, if they win all their games, I mean, it's just so close in this conference, and that's why there should be a ton of pride if we end up winning the regular season conference title. It's hard to win this league. All these teams are super similar. It's a slugfest, it feels like, unless you're like an historically horrendous Monroe team. Like anything can happen, and these guys and this staff, they work too hard and they're too good to not deserve support from students and fans, and just, I don't get it. It's so much fun. College basketball is so much fun, and I just feel like we're back in like 2019 again. Like we talked about this, like, hey, you guys remember like winning basketball is fun, guys. Like why are you not excited for this? And I don't know. I don't know.
I get it to an extent. We have lost some games that we wish we could have not lost games, and Saturdays seem to bite us a little bit. But you've got about, if you're going to put a name on any type of rivalry, historically, with any 2 schools that's still in this conference with us, it is Marshall and it's Georgia Southern, and that may not transcend basketball wise, and there may be more fans and younger fans who are more interested in JMU and Coastal than Marshall, because we hadn't been in a conference with Marshall for a long time, so that speaks to different people. But Georgia Southern's been around for a long time. There's no reason not to be there on Saturday. It's senior day. Just one other point about how, whether you want to call this conference deep or mediocre, it's up to you, for you to decide. But there's 14 teams in the conference, and 13 of them can theoretically have a 500 record.
Yeah.
By the end of the weekend. Now, obviously, everybody plays everybody, so not everybody can do it, because that would be mathematically impossible. But everybody could. 13 out of 14 could. You got even Old Dominion, who is at 6-9 in conference play. They could win their last 3, and they could be 9-9, and that could send them from starting the tournament on, early next week, or early the first week of March, or too late, or mid week, which has a massive difference in how this tournament works and how the ladder works, and who gets to go play in the NCAA tournament. Like, that's a real possibility. Like, that is, somebody's going to go. There's not going to be anyone but one team that goes to the NCAA tournament at this point in this league, and we have as good of a chance as anybody else does at this point. and we can take our first huge steps to that goal with these next 2 games on Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah. Got a parking deck back there now, Charles. Got a parking deck. Got a first place team late
Starting
February.
to get filled up more sooner
it
than usual. Usually
People aren't moving.
roll in about 6:05. Leave the house and we're about the 4th or 5th floor. And now we're taking bets as we enter the parking deck. Like, we're going to be on the 4th, we're going to be the 5th. We have to go all the way to the 6th. But yeah,
you better take the stairs.
It's a fun little game I play. Hey, I never take the elevator. I literally don't. And I'm not joking. This is not cliche. The elevator just takes too long.
It takes way too long, and it's overrated. Like, just go up the flight. Like if we park on the 4th, is it really worth just sitting there? I mean, by the time the door opens, ding, like you could be up on the 4th floor already.
We're beating people down the stairs
for sure
every day who are taking the elevator down now. And we're able-bodied. We can take the stairs. So that's for others who can't. But take the stairs.
Yeah, take the stairs, literally.
I've counted them. It's 19 steps on each floor from one to the next. So when you're going up to the 6th floor, you go up 76 stairs.
Yeah.
From the 2nd to the 6th.
There you go. Yeah. So I don't mean to sound crabby and whatever, and you try to have positive spin, but I've just been disappointed, and because we've missed games this year that we didn't want to miss, right? So like there have been things out of our control, illness or just things that happen down here that prevent us from going to all the games we've wanted to go to, and it's really sucked. And so, like, I don't know, just take advantage of it, go to the freaking game and pull them through. And anyway, so that's what you should do, folks. I don't think we mentioned the fact that Appalachian has a new offense. Did we mention the new offensive coordinator last week? The football hire? Did we mention that at all?
I don't think we did. I think it got announced, and I'm probably wrong, but right after we recorded, so 4 whole days or 5 whole days passed, and we were like, that's way old news.
Yeah. Well, yes, I think it's the only football thing. Like I said, I mean, everything has been under such lock and key with football. It's going to be really interesting what happens this year, I think, because I mean, we're coming off 2 5-win seasons and 2 seasons that frankly we just have not looked good. We have not played well back-to-back years, and I think that, I don't know, this feels like there has to be a spark, there has to be interest, there has to be fire, because I don't know how full and how enthusiastic you're going to make people if we don't at least generate some interest and some excitement. Because at this point, you're seeing, I used to live, and so many people listening to this used to live for spring workout videos. What are they doing? Where's the hype videos? I want to see this. What's going on? They're working out. I know they're doing it. And I saw one pop up, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess they're working out, and of course they're players I probably don't know that are duking it out. And, people can say, it's old news, keep saying the same thing over. Yeah, we don't know. It's the portal. It's true. I don't know these guys. I want to know them, but so it's going to be interesting to see, because, I mean, I think the offensive coordinator hire is clearly somebody, to me, if I was to interpret it, it would be somebody that's trying to help Coach Loggins with the strategic planning element throughout the week and not call plays. I will be, God, I was going to make some crass bet to myself that if somebody else is calling plays other than Coach Loggins, I would do something, but I just don't think that's the play here. I think this is a strategic assistant move. But could be wrong. I don't know, but that's about all the football take that I have. I just don't know if there's anything else to talk about with football at this point.
I think there was a lot of clamoring for hiring an offensive coordinator, and I'm just kind of reading the tea leaves, and they're like, okay, all right, I will. And now people are like, but is that person going to call plays?
Yeah,
well, probably not.
Did you have a problem with that? Did you want him to be the offensive? Did did you want to hire an offensive coordinator and have the offensive coordinator call plays? Where did you stand on that? I don't think
I
I even
wasn't
know.
really one way or the other. Um, I think if how do I say this? If you were just if we were a lot better, like from the 20s in, right?
Yeah.
Like we could move the ball, right?
Mhm.
So to me, that says, well, he knows, there are certain things that work, and we take advantage of those. But when the field got smaller,
Mhm.
um, the creativity wasn't there because we were too predictable.
Mhm.
I think that's a fair way to say it.
Yep.
Uh, and that's what the game's about. So, maybe this is the right move by, hey, I'm just, I'm hiring an offensive coordinator. Maybe he is just an assistant to an extent, but with the intent of, I mean, he knows as well as we do. It's not rocket science. You got to score 30 points in college football, right?
Yep. Mhm.
And we kept scoring in the mid 20s, and we
Mhm.
kept kicking field goals. And the season could have looked a lot different. Could have been 8-5 had things been different. Had we scored more points, had we not turned the ball over, had we not missed field goals, whatever you
Yeah.
want to say. But it wasn't the only thing that was wrong with that team last year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there will be things to learn, and his first year as a head coach, a lot to learn. Hopefully, a lot
Yeah.
more to learn, and a lot that has been learned from one year to the next. And
Yeah.
getting a whole recruiting staff in, year in, having the whole calendar. But uh, certainly, this is going to appease some, and then it'll be what it'll be, and we'll say, okay, what does it look like in October, right? Like,
Yeah.
has it changed? Has it
Yeah.
changed? Have we made improvements?
Yeah.
And I think that's just what people want to see, and it's either going to work or it's not. It's not. I'm not really breaking any news here, but
Yeah.
certainly people want to have some belief that the moves that have been made will make us better, but they're just not convinced yet. And I think the only way anyone can be convinced is until they see it.
Yeah.
So and that's still August, and
Yeah.
that's a little bit of ways away. We still got 6 months.
Yeah. No, that is true. I agree with all that. By the way, I thought Coach Loggins was good at calm plays. But there were some glaring moments of just like it felt like it got too cute and predictable. I mean, you nailed it. I think that's exactly correct. I do wonder though if this isn't about calling plays at all, and it's about helping with the offensive game planning so that he can help tighten up the other parts of the team, or at least like I don't know, put some juice in to every element of the team because we clearly didn't improve. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of having him be the chief driver of the offensive strategy or whatever you want to say, however you want to divvy it up, the team didn't get better. Now, were there some critical injuries along the way? Isaiah Cummings, Rashad Dubinion, um, and some O line pieces that maybe, well, not maybe, absolutely factored into why maybe we didn't get better. Yes, but we didn't get better. We pretty much were the same goofy team from beginning to end with a few flashes, but we just weren't a good team. Maybe it's less about game day play calling and having just a tighter grip. And from all, for all that I've heard, Dal's a control freak and he is over everything and whatever. But the greatest coaches are like that. They're control freaks. So like I don't
Yeah,
think that I mean that doesn't really move the needle for me to say, well, here he's a control freak. Well, yeah, I mean, but the greatest coaches are control freaks. So that doesn't really move the needle for me one way or the other. Um, I think maybe this has to do with freeing up time for him to be a head coach.
yeah, that certainly could be. And I consider like red zone offense like a special team. Like
That's a great point.
it's not kicking, it's not punting, but it's different offense than the offense you've been playing.
Yeah.
And you have to, that is the difference between winning and losing. It's 6 or
Mhm.
3. You know, people can clamor about, hey, is a free throw in a basketball game, is that a special team type of play? Yeah, it could
Mm.
be, because you
Yeah.
know what? It's not in the typical flow of the game. It's not, you're playing offense, you're not playing defense, you're playing nothing. You're not playing offense against anyone. You're playing offense against yourself
Yeah.
and the ball and the rim. And I think that's just a similar way to look at, hey, it's, sometimes you can be like, hey, it's first and goal, it's first and 10, but you're at the 12-yard line. Yeah. It's not first and 10 and you've got a 40 yards in front of you of green grass that you can use to run a receiver deep and have somebody come underneath. You don't have that. It's like we all know, it's boxed in, it's tighter, and you got to find some plays that you can, with that creativity, some quick flashes of getting open, or you just be able to run the football and make people stop you. So if you have those things, you have a great offensive line and good running backs, and that makes it a lot easier. So, and that's part of the reason why, games like James Madison got out of hand, is because we didn't know how to run the football enough against a good run defense. Still, you have to be able to, when you're shorthanded, shorten the game, and when you're long-handed, make it long for the other team.
Yeah. I don't think anybody can say it better, Charles. That was great. That's a great example. The first and 10 at the 12. That sums it up great, man. It's all right. We got our football fix in, I guess, for the week. We got that in. But yeah, it's a huge weekend for Appalachia sports. We got a lot of sports going on, and man, pack Holmes, go to the home center, go watch these dudes, go watch them, go support these guys. They deserve it. Really, they're just doing such a great job. Coach Kearns and his staff are just so good at running the ship and trying to promote their product. But Charles, anything else before we wrap up this week?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Go watch the games. Get to these basketball games, please.
Yeah.
Come.
There you go.
Make a fool of yourself. It's only for a couple hours.
Right. Yeah, and take the stairs, not the elevator. So
that too.
So if you're listening this far, thank you so much for downloading this episode of the Black and Gold podcast. And until next week, where hopefully we have an even tighter grip on first place in Sunbelt basketball, go Apps.